A perfect storm is brewing at Soldier Field, and the future of the Bears is hanging by a thread. A defensive monster is about to make history at the expense of our offensive line, while some key moves in the injury room could flip the entire offensive outlook heading into the playoffs. And hold up! There's a silent battle going on behind the scenes. One that might just prove Ryan Poles is a whole lot smarter than his critics give him credit for. 3 explosive stories that are about to shake the very foundation of this franchise. Don't go anywhere, because what's coming is straight fire. If you bounce now, you're gonna regret it. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, because you won't find this kind of info anywhere else. Look, I'm gonna be straight with you. This Sunday ain't just another game. This Sunday, the guy who's about to break one of the most sacred records in NFL history is coming to Soldier Field. Myles Garrett needs just 3 more sacks to tie the all-time single-season record of 22.5, held by Michael Strahan and TJ Watt. And guess who he wants to do it against? Us, the Chicago Bears. Let me ask you something. Are you really going to let this dude make history in our house? Because I'll tell you this, Caleb Williams already made it clear he's not about to let that happen. The kid came out and said, word for word, I'm going to make sure he doesn't get the sack record against us and against me. That's the kind of fire we need. That's leadership. That's what you want to see from your Bears quarterback. But let's be real. Garrett ain't Micah Parsons. He ain't Max Crosby. He ain't TJ Watt. He ain't Aiden Hutchinson. This dude is on a whole different level. Ben Johnson said it best. He might be on a different tier than anyone else in the league right now. And honestly, I think he's right. This man's got what the Young Bucks call a deep bag. He's got the Euro step, explosive speed, a bull rush that'll put a tackle on skates and drive him straight into the quarterback. And the worst part, Jim Schwartz, his defensive coordinator, knows exactly how to unleash him. That wide 9 scheme Schwartz runs, straight up nightmare fuel for any O-line. Let me hit you with a stat that'll chill your blood. Back in 2021, when the Bears faced Garrett, he sacked Justin Fields 4.5 times. 4.5 in one game, 6 QB hits, 4 tackles for loss. That day, Myles Garrett straight up wrecked our offense, tore the whole game plan to shreds, made us look like a high school team. Now I know what you're thinking. Yeah, but our O-line's been balling this year. And you're right, Ozzy Trapilo, our rookie left tackle, hasn't allowed a single sack in 223 pass blocking snaps. That's elite. That's big time. But Garrett is different. Ben Johnson believes in Trapilo, says he's locked in, technically sound, ready for this kind of test. And I want to believe that. I need to believe that. Because if Trapilo can hold his own against Garrett, if our line can keep Caleb clean, then we've got a real shot to win this game. But here's what's got me worried. The Browns are going to move Garrett all over the line. They'll line him up at linebacker, let him freelance. They're going to hunt for mismatches. They're going to try to confuse our protection schemes. And if we mess up even once, if Garrett gets a one-on-one for even a second, he's going to be in Caleb's face before you can blink. I think this game is going to tell us a lot about who we are as a team. We've faced some elite pass rushers this year. We kept Parsons sackless last week. But Garrett, he's the final boss. He's the ultimate test for our offensive line. So I'm asking you, are we ready for this moment? Because I'll tell you this, if we can shut down Myles Garrett, if we can keep him from breaking the record at Soldier Field, we're sending a message to the whole league. We're telling the world the Chicago Bears are back, that our O-line is legit, that Caleb Williams has the protection he needs to take us to the playoffs. But if we fail, if Garrett gets those 3 sacks and makes history on our turf, then we're going to have to ask ourselves some tough questions about who we really are. If that shook you, wait till you hear this. While everyone's stressing about Myles Garrett and the Browns' defense, something's going down in our injury room that could totally change our offense for the final 4 games of the season. Rome Odunze is back. Let me say that again so it sinks in. Rome Odunze is back. Our number 1 wideout, the guy leading the team with 661 yards on 44 catches and 6 touchdowns, returned to practice Wednesday in a limited capacity after missing the Packers game with a foot injury. And let me ask you, did you see how much our passing game struggled without Rome last Sunday? Because I did, and it was rough. Caleb was under pressure all game. We didn't have that go-to guy who could consistently win on intermediate routes. We were missing that explosive spark that Rome brings. Look at the numbers. Rome's got 90 targets this season. 90! That's more than any other receiver on the roster by a mile. He's the centerpiece of Ben Johnson's game plan. He's the guy Caleb trusts when he needs a big-time play. And not having him against Green Bay hurt us. Bad. But here's the wild part. The schedule lightens up a bit this week with Cleveland. But after that, it's Packers again. Then the Niners. Then the Lions. 3 teams we're battling for playoff spots. 3 defenses that are going to bring the heat. 3 games that could make or break our season. I think the timing of Rome's return couldn't be better. We need that 10th win on Sunday against the Browns. That's not just a nice round number. It's a massive milestone for this team. It's one step closer to making the playoffs for the first time since I was a kid, watching Urlacher and Pepper's wreck shop on defense. And I'll say this, if Rome's healthy, if he can get back to being that dominant receiver we saw earlier this season, then our offense goes from average to dangerous. Our run game's already clicking. We're moving the ball on the ground. The O-line's holding up. But we've been missing that passing game punch. With Rome back, Caleb's got his #1 weapon again. He can stretch the field. He can win on those money downs. He can make those tough third down grabs that keep drives alive. And that opens everything else up. Luther Burden gets more space. Colston Loveland can work the middle. The run game gets even better because defenses can't stack the box. But here's my concern. Rome's coming off a foot injury. He's still limited in practice. And we're about to face a Cleveland defense that, even at 3-10, is still legit. Jim Schwartz knows how to make life hard for rookie QBs. He knows how to jam receivers and throw off timing. So I'm asking you, is Rome really ready? Or are we rushing him back because we're desperate for a win? Because I'll tell you this, I'd rather have Rome at 100% for those 3 brutal games to close the season than risk him at 80% this week and have the injury flare up again. Ben Johnson's got a tough call to make, and I trust him. I think he'll do what's best for Rome and for the team, but I won't lie. I'm nervous, because if we lose Rome again, if that foot injury gets worse, our playoff hopes could go right down the drain. And just when you thought we were done, let me hit you with something flying way under the radar. But it might be the biggest story of all. While the national media's busy roasting Ryan Poles for supposedly drafting the wrong tight end in Colston Loveland over Tyler Warren, there's another draft battle Poles might be winning big time. Luther Burden versus Matthew Golden. Let me lay it out for you. The Packers took Golden in the first round. 16 picks before we grabbed Burden. Everyone was hyped. Said Golden was a steal. Faster, more explosive, more NFL ready than any other receiver in the draft. The experts were drooling over this guy. And I ask you, where's Matthew Golden now? Because I'll tell you, last Sunday at Lambeau, Golden had 0 catches. 1 target, 1. And how many touchdowns does he have this season? 0. Meanwhile, Luther Burden had 4 catches for 67 yards on 6 targets. He's producing. He's getting better every week. And most importantly, he's peaking at the perfect time. I watched that game Sunday. There was a deep shot from Jordan Love to a wide-open receiver behind our defense. And I thought, oh no, that's got to be Golden. He's fast. But nope, it was Bo Melton, a dude nobody even knew 3 weeks ago. That tells you everything you need to know about Golden's role in Green Bay. The guy who was supposed to be their future WR1 isn't even on the field in key moments. Meanwhile, Burden's out there on third downs. He's earning Caleb's trust. He's becoming a key piece of our offense. And here's what I love about this. We're going to face the Packers again in Week 16 at Soldier Field. It's going to be Burden versus Golden, head-to-head, in our house. And I think Burden's going to prove once and for all that Poles made the right call. Because let's be real, all those so-called draft experts got this one wrong. Everyone thought Golden was the obvious pick, that the Bears blew it by not taking the fastest guy available. But Poles saw something different in Burden. He saw a complete receiver, a guy who could run every route, who could block in the run game, who had soft hands and the right mindset. And let me ask you, Isn't that exactly what we need next to Roma Dunze? Don't we want a receiver who can do it all, not just run go routes? I'm telling you, Luther Burden is going to be special in this league. He's already showing it. More targets, more catches, more yards, more touchdowns than Golden. And he's just scratching the surface. So next time someone drags Ryan Poles for his draft picks, remind them of this. Remind them he picked Luther Burden over Matthew Golden, that he trusted his scouting when everyone else thought he was nuts. And so far, Poles nailed it. Because at the end of the day, it's not about where you get drafted, it's about what you do when you hit the field. And Luther Burden is doing everything right, while Matthew Golden is watching from the sidelines. All right, I've got 3 questions for you, and I want you to keep it real in the comments. First question, can Ozzy Trapilo and our O-line actually stop Myles Garrett and keep him from making history at Soldier Field? I think this game's going to show whether we're real contenders or just a lucky team. Let me know if you trust our line or if you're sweating like I am. Second question, should Ben Johnson risk playing Roma Dunze this week against Cleveland? Or should we hold him out for those 3 brutal games to close the season? Personally, I'd rather have him at full strength when we really need him, but I get that we need that 10th win. What do you think? Drop it in the comments. And third question, did Ryan Poles make the right call picking Luther Burden over Matthew Golden? Because I'm telling you, the numbers don't lie. Burden's balling while Golden's ghosting. But I want to hear from you. Is Poles a genius or did he just get lucky? And hey, if you made it this far, if you stuck with me through this whole video, then you're part of something special. You're part of a family. A family that lives and breathes navy and orange. A family that's been through the pain, but finally has hope again. So I'm asking you, if you like this content, if you feel like you're getting real insight you won't find anywhere else, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications. Because I promise you, we've got more explosive news coming tomorrow. And you do not want to miss what's next for Chicago. Share this video with every Bears fan you know. Tell them this is where they'll find the deepest analysis, the realest passion, and the unfiltered truth about our team. Because at the end of the day, this ain't just a YouTube channel. This is a community. This is a movement. And you're a huge part of it. See you in the next video, fam. Bear down. And remember, Chicago don't play.